Hello, everybody. So today is the 22nd of January. I just wanted to share a little introduction to a session that I'd like to put out for everyone. I've edited the session so to speed it up a little bit, but it's all to do with King Arthur, Queen Guinevere, and the magician Merlin, and then the darker sorceress Morgana. And it was all based within Wales. This was happening at the foot of Snowdon, and then to the east of Snowdon on a rocky volcanic outcrop where they built a castle called Dinas Emrys, and it was all set in this area, and it was all to do with how there was a rift between King Arthur and Morgana, because they'd originally been a couple, and then just the story of what happened between them and the battles, and there were giants and there were dragons. And I find it really fascinating that somebody could go to a past life and they could experience all of this, because we hear all these myths and legends around these energies of these people, and we've just been trying to figure out what is true and what is myth and what is legend, what is story and what is fact. So it's interesting just as a perspective that this was perhaps someone's experience and a lifetime that they led. So I'm going to leave it there, share with you this, just a little bit of an update on energetically what I've been getting coming through. So obviously we've got Pluto returning into Aquarius now. So this new Aquarian age is being birthed, which is going to be quite energetically quite like revolutionary, I think. So I'm just told at the moment that these energies are coming through slowly. It's not going to be like a switch is suddenly turned on, because this has happened on the 20th of January. It's going to be a gradual process as we integrate these new energies and we begin to embody it more and more and more. And the second thing is the 22nd today. So I was shown that there's a bit of an activation coming from Antares. I did a bit of a clearing through meditation for the collective from Antares, which are kind of insectoid beings, and also for the planet itself. And I was seeing this blue energy. And today I was told that this blue energy is coming down. And coincidentally, because I've been thinking a lot about these Merlin and King Arthur energies and Wales and Scotland recently, what I saw was the blue energy, like a column coming down to Cad Idris and having an activating effect on the mountain. It was like this energy was now ready to come down, and I saw this new template forming and sort of moving outwards. So I see these templates like snowflakes. They're beautiful, intricate patterns and designs, and they kind of shine really brightly. And I just saw it expanding out through Cad Idris. So this blue energy coming down. It was like this activation was supposed to be happening today on the 22nd, all connecting with what's happening astrologically. And that's it, really. So enjoy the session. It's a really lovely session. I have edited it to speed it up a little bit, so it might not flow as you would expect a session to flow, because lots of pieces have been chopped out to speed it up to make it easier to listen to the whole story. Okay, lots of love to everyone, and speak again soon. Bye-bye.
Yes. We're at the top of a hill.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite dark. It's not nighttime. It's just very sort of cloudy and quite dark place, and very like sort of dark and settled energy. But there's soldiers walking around, their horses, almost like Vikings or something like that sort of era.
So do the soldiers look like Vikings? Do they?
Yes, they do. They've got the helmets with the horns on them, normal human size. It's almost like they have got some giants with them as well, but not that many, just a few. They're preparing for battle, preparing for like a long journey. And on the top of the hill, I can see them starting to walk along this path between two lakes. There's quite like a moorlandy area as well. There's lots of hills around.
The giants, do they look quite human? Do they have the same hats on with their horns on top, or do they look different?
No, they don't. They've got quite vulgar faces. Like one of them's only got one eye. They're like the sort of secret weapon.
Like Cyclops, that type of thing.
Cyclops, yeah.
Was the one with the one eye, wasn't he? Have they all got the one eye, or is it just one of the giants with the one eye?
Just one of the giants with the one eye, and then the other one looks similar, but it's got two eyes very close together in the centre.
How much taller than the people are they?
They're probably double the size. They're going to give them the advantage in battle. And they're on chains. They're not. I don't think they're there voluntary. It's almost like they've been blackmailed into fighting, but they've chained them up just in case. They've taken over the homeland already of the giants, and if these two fight for them, then they will give them their homeland back without destroying it.
Okay. Do you get a sense of where they may come from, these giants? How far away they may come from?
Across the seas, I feel. Warm place. They live in sort of earth houses as well. Yeah, just sort of proper homes under the ground.
And is there much vegetation where they come from?
Just lots of grass, really. Not that many trees.
Is there anything unusual about it, or does it look quite earth-like where they come from?
It's quite earth-like, yes, but it's almost like it's tucked away, like we wouldn't be able to see it. It's almost like there's sort of like an invisibility cloak around the place, but you couldn't. So it would just look like a forest when actually it's their home.
How do you feel these Vikings were able to find them and capture them?
We've got some sort of sorcerer with them. She can see all. She's got like a very dark purple dress, and she's got black hair with a white streak through it. And she's got a bird of prey, or like a raven on her shoulder, like sort of black eyes as well. She's quite dangerous.
Okay. Does she feel like she's got any love light within her at all?
Yes, that's sort of represented by the white streak. I feel it's sort of two kinds of giants. So they've got the sort of cyclops with the one eye, and then the sort of other giants with the two eyes. I feel they've come together to help each other.
Do you feel that they were like positive polarized, these giants?
Yes, they were, yeah.
These Vikings, where did they come from? Have they got a specific homeland, or do you feel they just travel?
They came from Normandy, that sort of area. It's quite mountainous and cold.
What sort of homes do they live in Normandy?
It's like cob houses, like cob round houses.
Okay. So why are they fighting? Do you know where they're going to? You said that they're on a journey now. They're going between these two lakes.
It's almost like sort of the Wales region, but they've just come from the coast. They've landed, and then they're walking up, and they've started their journey to get to the battlefield. Yeah, they've got quite a long way to go, but I don't think the other sort of the opposition know that they're on their way yet. Quite open here. Yes.
Okay, beautiful. How many of them do you feel there are here?
A couple hundred. I'm observing from above. I feel like the sorceress knows that there's some sort of presence there, but she's not sure what it is. I feel like she knows there's because I'm just observing, I feel like she knows I'm watching, but she can't see where I am.
Okay, so she senses that you're here, but she doesn't know.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not quite there yet, but I feel like we are going to carriage dress. They have got horses, but they're not riding them because of the terrain's quite uneven. They're along the top of a mountain now, which feels like Snowdon. They're going back down. They're going down the other side now. It's quite foggy. I seem to see a lot.
It's because you're quite high up and it's drizzly.
Yeah, I feel they're heading towards a castle. Yes, they've got there, but it's abandoned. There's no one there.
Okay.
So they're all confused because they thought this is where they were meant to be fighting, but they're not.
But there's no one there. Do you feel it's like a trick or something?
Yeah, so I can see through. They've got like a shield over the castle and the grounds to protect them. There's another sorcerer. She's white. She's all white. She is, and she's protecting them, so they can't be seen. So they are there, but she's protecting them with her shield. So the Vikings are quite confused, and even the dark sorcerer, she's confused as well. But I feel like her and the other one there, it's almost like they're sisters or possibly rivals. I think they're deciding to set up camp. The sorcerer feels it is a trick of her sister. She says to make camp. They just have sort of they've got a tent, but it's more like just a sort of animal skin that they use to prop up over themselves. Yeah, so we're just waiting. They're sort of being taken into the castle now. And the white sorcerer, she's with another sort of elder, almost like whether he's like a magician, but he's got sort of long grey hair and a long grey beard and glasses. He's, you know, it's almost like he trained her, helped her to like enhance her powers. He's almost like he's something to do with the king. He's not like a servant, but he's almost like an advisor of the king. Yes, and she's sort of trained under him, but I don't know. I feel like she's in love with the king, but they're not together.
Okay.
Being taken like into sort of communal area where the king's sat on his throne. Yeah, so there's a moat and a drawstring bridge. Yeah.
Okay.
And on the gate, on the sort of stone doorways, there's like two dragons either side.
Two dragons on one side or on both sides?
Either side of the top of the door.
Okay.
And there's sort of snakes on each side of the door as well, coiling up something.
Okay, beautiful.
And then in the center at the top of the doorway, there's like this. It's almost like a lion. Looks like a lion.
Okay, beautiful.
It feels like King Arthur, and I feel that the magician's Merlin, and
so the advisor type person is Merlin, you feel, and he's a magician.
Yeah. Yes.
And then the white girl is like with them on their side. She's on the side of King Arthur. Yep.
Yeah.
And then the dark sorceress is kind of opposing them all, is she? She wants to take over the power from all of them, does she? Do you feel?
Yeah, she was part of the castle, but she left and sort of turned evil in a way. Okay. I don't know if she was jealous. She was jealous of something.
Do you feel she was jealous of the white woman's relationship with King Arthur, maybe?
Yes, she was.
Does she want the power, or does she love the man? She was jealous of their relationship or of the power that they had?
Both. She was jealous of both.
So when she went away, how do you feel she turned dark?
Well, she was with Arthur originally, but she found him and her sister together, and she was just distraught, and she went off, and she was quite upset, and she went through the forest, and she was crying, and she was so upset. But then she came across this like dark pool of water. It was almost like, it wasn't water, it was almost like tar that was underneath this tree, and this sort of demon came to her and said to her if she gave part of her soul, she could have all the power she wanted.
Wow. So it's like a pool of black goo type thing.
Yeah, and she had to drink. Yeah, and she had to drink a sip of this water. And but she kept and like before she was like, she had sort of white hair as well, but then as soon as she drank that, her hair went dark, but that white streak stayed in her hair.
So what did this demon look like when it came out of the water?
It was just a completely black figure. Like he looked human, but he was just all black all over. Like he had red, sort of fiery eyes.
Okay. Do you feel that he had any spark of light in him at all, or was he artificial, or did he have some organic within him?
I feel like maybe he has a little bit of light in his heart. I feel like he's been very infringed upon and used. I feel like him and her and the demon, they came together, and they've both been through the trauma they've been through. It's led them together.
Okay, so it's the trauma that affected them and that caused them to turn dark. It's the trauma that caused them to give up their love light. They couldn't hold on to their light because of all the trauma that they went through. Oh,
yes.
It's very sad. Okay, so returning back to the castle where these people have camped then, where they're camping. Yeah. So the sister is with Merlin within the castle.
Yeah.
The white sister.
Yeah.
So do you feel that they were blood sisters, these two women, or do you feel they're perhaps just friends?
I think just friends. Just friends.
What do you
feel?
Very
close.
Okay, yeah.
They grew up. They grew up together in the castle.
What do you feel caused King Arthur to go with the other lady? Was he married to the first lady, or were they just kind of like lovers or partners? Or
Yeah, yes, he was married, yes, to her, but I feel he's just, it's almost as if he'd got bored with her in some ways.
So he's just being a bit shallow and just decided to be with the other lady as well, because he was just not following his most highest timeline.
Yes.
Okay. Does the dark lady come in to speak with the light one? Do you feel that she shows herself, the dark sorceress?
Yeah, she wants to come in because a part of her doesn't want to harm them. She still wants to love them both, but I feel she's gone through the shield to try and see her sister. Her sister's not sure. Her friend's not sure if she wants to speak to her yet.
And does Merlin have powers at this point? The sorcerer Merlin, is he positive polarized then?
Yes, he is positively polarized. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the positive Merlin here.
He's got strong ties with the dragons.
Are the dragons any particular colour that he has ties with?
Blue.
Are they all blue? How many of them do you sense there might be? Or is there just one?
There's one blue and two white.
One blue and two white. Beautiful.
And they're beneath the castle. They're sort of cleansing they make sure that the land stays pure.
Beautiful. So they're kind of guardians of this part of the mountain, are they?
Yes, they are. Yes, they're sort of deep within the mountain.
Any particular reason why there's the three of them, the one blue and the two white, do you feel, or is that just how many you can sense?
I feel like there could be more, actually. I feel like there's another red one as well.
And there's the four of them, you feel, the two white ones and then one blue and one red. As these darker people are approaching, is it just the dark sorceress herself which comes in, or does some of the Viking people come in with her?
Just the leader of the Vikings. He comes with her.
Leader.
He's almost like the demon has like taken his body. The one that turned her dark has taken the body of this Viking, and he's like in control. The sorceress, when she turned dark, she wanted to get the demon out of the dark pool, and he said to her she must get him a human to embody. So she went to the edge of the forest, and she managed to she convinced this man to follow her, almost tried to seduce him, and then took him to the place, and and then he was sort of taken up by the demon.
How did they manage to get these people to follow them then? Because they had a whole army.
Yes, well, the Viking that he took was the leader of the army anyway, so they still saw him as the leader.
Okay, so they just continued to follow him, doing what he said.
They're trying to come up with some sort of peace treaty, I feel. They want to divide the land into light and dark.
So some for the light and some for the dark to own and sort of to live on.
Yes.
How does King Arthur and Merlin feel about that and the woman? Do they feel that that's a possibility, or are they to keep the peace and stop fighting?
Yes, they feel for now that they could do that to protect people. So,
to protect the other people that live on the land.
Yes.
Okay, but what would happen to the people on the dark side? Would they have to move, or would they become citizens of the dark people?
I feel most of them have either turned dark or have been killed if they haven't wanted to be dark. So.
Okay, so these dark people have already taken over the land to an extent, have they?
Yes, they have. Yeah, it's almost like the mountain of Snowdon. It's like the part closest to the sea is the dark, and then the other path is the light.
Okay, so one side's the dark side and the other part's the light side. So is that down below, sort of south of the mountain, that's lighter, or is it to the east or southeast?
Yes, it's to the south and the and the southeast.
South and southeast is the light side.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they've decided to make this treaty to divide the land. Who gets the castle that they're in at the moment then? Does that castle stay as part of the light side?
Yes, it does, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. The light.
Okay, so what happens to the dragons that are underneath the mountain, do you feel, when this treaty is made? Are they still able to protect the land on the side that's turned dark, or do they have to leave?
One of the white dragons has been taken to become dark, and then the other three can stay underneath the castle and protect the land. They can. I feel like the dragons represent Arthur, Merlin, the sister, and the other friend, like the dark sorceress. Blue one's Merlin, and then the red one's King Arthur, and the white one's the white sorceress.
Okay.
And then the black one's the dark sorceress.